If you are hearing these words, it is not by accident. There are billions of sounds, millions of images, and countless videos drifting through the chaotic stream of the digital world. Yet somehow, this very moment has reached you among the endless information of the universe. Stop for just a second. Take a deep breath. Look at the title. Look at this very moment where you are sitting, breathing, listening. Do you feel something in your heart? A faint vibration, as if someone is calling you from beyond the mist of reality. No, this is not coincidence. This is an appointment, a sacred meeting between you and the Creator. Since the beginning of time, there have been moments when time and soul intersect, when a sign, a voice, or a small light appears at the right time, in the right place, meant for only one person. Today, this very moment is one of those moments. You have been invited, not by a person, but by the energy of life itself, by God, by the universe, or whatever name your soul gives to the divine. And if you are here, it means you have been chosen to hear this. Perhaps in recent days you have felt a quiet unease. Everything seems to move forward, yet something inside feels out of rhythm. A part of you is searching, though you may not know for what. Maybe it is meaning, maybe peace, or maybe just a small sign to know that you are not alone. I want you to know, you are not lost. You are exactly where you are meant to be, because God does not work through coincidence. He works through alignment. A voice echoes in memory. Psalm 25:14. The Lord confides in those who fear Him. He makes His covenant known to them. And today, He is revealing something to you. If your heart beats a little faster as you hear these words, that is your soul recognizing the call. Every soul has its moment of awakening. Sometimes through pain, sometimes through stillness, sometimes when a simple video appears in the middle of an ordinary day. But in truth, nothing is ever ordinary. This world is a vast tapestry woven with threads of destiny. Every moment, every decision, every click you make is a note in the grand symphony that God is playing. When you came across this video, you touched a note already written into the music of your soul. You may have thought you were just another face in the crowd, small and unseen. But the truth is, you have always been seen. Every step, every tear, every silent prayer has been recorded. And when the time is right, that prayer returns as a sign. It might be a dream, a number, or maybe a video like this. Do you see now? We think technology is random, but sometimes, even through the flow of data and algorithms, the divine hand is still writing its message. You are not hearing this because you found it by chance, but because it found you. When a soul is ready, the universe sends a signal. When the heart opens, the light enters. Not before, not after, but in the exact moment it is meant to. Ask yourself, how many times have you felt something calling your name from within? A feeling, an impulse, a dream that woke you in tears. Those things are not illusions. They are the language of the soul, the way God, the angels, or the greater light speaks to you. And today, they speak through these words. You may not understand everything yet, and that is okay. Every spiritual journey begins in confusion before the light shines into the dark. Perhaps you have asked, why do I always feel different? Why do I look at the world as if I don't belong here? Know that those questions are not mistakes. They are reminders that you were born to see what others cannot see, to feel what others cannot feel. And sometimes, being chosen means walking alone until the light reaches others through you. Deep inside, you have always known this. Since childhood, you have felt strange, sensitive, easily hurt, easily moved by the pain of others. But instead of seeing the gift within it, the world taught you to hide, to harden yourself. A gentle whisper says, "It's okay. It's time to remember. You are not weak. You are awakening." This journey did not begin today. It began long ago, perhaps before you were even born. But today, you stand at the crossroads of the soul, where you are invited to choose again, to keep sleeping, or to walk into the light. And if you are still listening now, it means your soul has chosen. Do not rush to understand. Just feel. Place your hand over your heart, take a deep breath, and whisper, "I am ready to remember," because from this moment on, the journey begins. Not a journey outward, but inward. Not a search for something new, but a remembering of what has always been yours. As the light begins to shine, you will see fragments of your soul's memory, the places it has loved, the pain it has carried, the promises it once made. And you will realize that even when you thought you were lost, God was always there, waiting for your return. This is not just a video. This is the first doorway, a sign within the chaos, where eternity touches the present. And if your heart is responding, if something inside you wants to cry, to believe, to remember, then know that the miracle has begun. Because you did not find this message. This message found you. There is a very special silence that appears right after the soul realizes it has just been called. It is not the silence of emptiness, but the silence of something beginning to move within. A door has opened, not out there, but deep inside you. And through that door, you start to feel the faint memories of all the days you have always felt different. You remember, don't you? When you were little, you saw the world with different eyes. The things that made others happy never truly brought you peace. There were nights you looked up at the sky and asked, "Who am I really? Why do I feel everything so deeply?" People may have said you were too sensitive, too dreamy, or simply too fragile. But deep in your heart, you knew there was something more, a distant echo, a flow of energy you could not name, always urging you towards something truer, something more real. That feeling, being lost in the world yet familiar with the unseen, is the first sign of a chosen soul, not chosen to rule or to shine above others, but to remember the truth hidden in the spirit of humankind. You are someone the world often does not understand, because you see what others overlook. You feel the pain of others as if it were your own. You know when someone lies, not by words, but by energy. And sometimes you sense things before they happen. This can make life heavy for you. When the heart opens wider than most, the world can feel loud and overwhelming. You may feel drained in crowds. You may feel empty even when surrounded by people. You may smile, yet behind your eyes, there is a quiet sadness no one can quite name. But please, do not see that as wrong. Do not think you are broken, because your difference is a sacred invitation. It is the gift your soul chose to bring into this world. A whisper rises from within, as if from a distant place inside you. Psalm 139:13. For you created my inmost being. You knit me together in my mother's womb. Every cell in you carries a divine design. Every part of you, both light and shadow, was woven with purpose. There is nothing in you that is a mistake, no wound that is meaningless. You have always carried a unique frequency, and because of that, the world has often made you feel out of place. But that very feeling of not belonging is leading you home. For only when you no longer fit into the old world can you be ready to enter the new one, where your soul begins to remember its mission. Perhaps you have tried to be like everyone else, to blend in, to not seem strange. But each time you forced yourself to do so, a little of your light dimmed. And when emptiness came, it was your soul crying out for help. That is why you are here now. Because you can no longer ignore the call. You are not just the person hearing these words. You are an ancient soul, a traveler through many lifetimes, carrying lessons and memories from forgotten ages. You have been a healer, a teacher, a seeker of light, a keeper of truth. And today, you are being called once again to continue that work in a new form in this modern world. The world will not always be easy for souls like you, because you feel, you see, you know things others are not yet ready to understand. But do not be afraid. Your difference is not a burden. It is a key. When you learn to accept it, you begin to unlock doors that others cannot. The voice grows warmer, flowing like a river through the dark night. Do not dim your light, just so others won't be blinded. Let it shine. Because that light is not yours. It is the light of the Creator, shining through you to guide other souls. You begin to realize that your difference is not a barrier, but a sign of purpose. Then an image appears in your mind, a single candle in the dark. The wind blows, yet it does not go out. It trembles, but its light remains. And with every flicker, the darkness fades a little more. You are that candle. No one else can burn for you. And the light you carry, no matter how small, is what this world needs most. A slow, deep breath brings calm to your mind. The voice continues, you do not need to understand everything right now. Just remember, you are different because you were called to bring a different frequency into this world. There will be moments of doubt, times when you ask, if there is truly a divine purpose, why do I feel so lonely and lost? But that is part of the path of the chosen, because to bring light, you must first know darkness. You are shaped through pain to learn love. You walk through loneliness to learn connection. You are wounded to understand healing, and through those cracks, the light will shine through. Another verse falls softly, like dew into stillness. Psalm 34-18. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. Your soul is not weak, it is learning to open again. And every time you fall, it is not for destruction, but for rebirth. When you look back, you will see that your darkest moments were where the light first entered. The times you felt most lost were the very maps guiding you to your true path. Nothing in your life has been random. No one has appeared without purpose. Every person, every event was sent as a teacher, and the lessons they brought, even the painful ones, are all pieces of a divine plan. Look back. Every time you thought you would break, you rose again. Every time you felt abandoned, something appeared to lift you. A song, a stranger, a dream, or this very moment where you are hearing these words. That is how the Creator reminds you He never left. When you begin to see the sacred in every experience, even in pain, you step through the first gate of awakening. And from there, the journey of the chosen soul unfolds in its own way, wondrous and full of challenge. You will begin to notice signs around you, numbers, dreams, lights, or deep intuitions, each one a reminder that you are not alone. And if right now you feel something touching your heart, as if a voice is whispering, "Yes, it is you," then know that you are being called even deeper, because your difference is not a burden. It is the mark of a chosen soul, a reminder that no matter how the world turns, the light within you is real. There are moments when the soul is ready, and the universe begins to send clearer signs, no longer distant whispers, but a voice rising from within the heart, like a stream of light seeping through every crack of darkness. You begin to feel that every difference, every wound, every sleepless night has been guiding you towards something greater than yourself. A soft breeze passes by, as if the universe itself is breathing with you. In that breath, a gentle yet powerful voice speaks. You are not lost. You are being called home. Home to where? Not to a physical place, but to the very source of light your soul once belonged to. The light you forgot, amidst the noise of life and the weight of old fears. The truth is, you were not chosen to be someone special. You were chosen to return to your true self, and through that journey, to awaken others. That is why you have always felt you were born to do something, even if you did not know what it was. You have felt the urge to help, to heal, to create something meaningful, but life and fear made you forget. Now, that calling is returning. A ver, se dices la confirmación. Matthew 5:14. You are the light of the world. A city on a hill cannot be hidden. You can no longer hide your light. It has already begun to shine through the smallest things, the way you look at a stranger, the compassion you feel when someone is in pain, the tears you shed without knowing why. All of it is proof that you are reconnecting with your true essence. You were born to shine. But to do that, you must face the darkness, because only when you understand darkness can light have meaning. The world may make you doubt yourself. Voices around you may say, "You dream too much." No one cares about that. Life is more practical than you think, but your soul knows the truth. This reality is only a shell. Beneath it are layers of energy and divine plans unfolding, and you are part of that symphony. You are a messenger of light, not through preaching, but through the way you live. When you choose kindness instead of resentment, you bring light to the world. When you choose forgiveness, even with a broken heart, you open the gate of healing for the entire timeline. When you choose to love again after being betrayed, you reactivate the divine essence within you. The voice softens, like a whisper in the night. You do not need to shout to change the world. You only need to keep the lamp in your heart burning. That is why you were chosen to be living proof that light can still exist within darkness, but light cannot spread if you keep it hidden. This is the time to rise, to trust the path your soul has called you to walk, not for anyone else, but because deep inside, you know you have walked too far to live an ordinary life. A slow, sacred breath flows through, carrying a message from above. Let your light shine before others, that they may see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven. Matthew 5:16. This is no longer the time to hide. This is the time to accept your mission. If these words are awakening something in you, know that it is your soul nodding. It recognizes the message. It knows you are ready. This is not just a video. It is an invitation from the light itself. Pause for a moment, take a deep breath, and feel the energy moving in your chest. You may feel warmth or a gentle current flowing through you. It is not imagination. It is the energy of awakening. The voice grows stronger, like the echo of the universe. It is time to remember. It is time to rise. It is time to shine. And if you are hearing these words, if your heart feels open, then act as a sign to the universe that you are ready. Like to send this message further, share to spread the light, subscribe to stay connected to the source you have just remembered. These are not just actions on a platform. They are a sacred promise between you and the universe. I choose light. I choose my true path. And when you do, a wave of energy moves through you, like one flame touching another. A soul that awakens will always awaken others. Imagine thousands of people like you, hearing these same words across the world, each one a candle. And when all are lit, darkness no longer holds power. In this moment, you are not alone. Countless other souls are resonating with you, remembering, awakening, and walking the same path home. This is the deep truth the chosen ones must understand. Loneliness is an illusion. You were never truly alone. Others walk beside you, even if you have never met them. Another verse whispers softly, like a breath of dawn. Psalm 46:5. God is within her, she will not fall. God will help her at break of day. You are that city, the light standing firm in the storm, unshaken, though the world may change. Because within you is a promise, the soul's vow to the Creator, I will return, and when I remember, I will lead others home. This is why you are hearing these words now, not to be comforted, but to be awakened. Because when you truly awaken, you become the comfort for the world. The voice softens again, like the glow of evening light over still water. Walk forward, even slowly, but never stop. With every step you take, the light spreads farther, and when you trust the divine plan, the universe opens the way. You do not need to know everything ahead. Just know that every small step in light matters. Begin with the smallest faith that you are loved, seen, and guided. This is the invitation, not from me, but from the source of light waiting for you to remember. If you hear that call, close your eyes, place your hand over your heart, and gently say, I am ready. I will not hide anymore. I choose to return to the light. A wave of peace spreads through you, and in that still moment, everything becomes clear. No more coincidence, no more doubt, only the quiet certainty of a soul that has remembered its purpose. You are the light, and the light never fades. When light begins to awaken within a soul, darkness also starts to move. Not to stop it, but to test it. Not to destroy, but to refine. Because every true light must pass through the night. Perhaps you have already felt it when your journey just begins. The waves suddenly rise. Relationships that once seemed unbreakable start to crack. Work, sleep, health, faith, everything seems to challenge you at once. And you ask, if I am walking in light, why does everything feel so dark? The answer is simple. Light can only be proven in darkness. This is the stage many call the dark night of the soul. A time when it feels like God has gone silent, when every prayer seems to disappear into the air, and all you can feel is emptiness. But in that silence, something miraculous is happening. You are being remade. In darkness, the seed buried in the soil cannot see the light, yet it is sprouting. Your soul is the same. Every pain, every loneliness, every loss you face is not punishment. It is a sacred ritual of rebirth. A gentle, steady verse rises. Psalm 34:18. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. If you are broken, know this. God is closer than ever. He does not appear in blinding light, but in the heavy breath you are still holding on to, in every tear that falls when you think you can't go on, in the quiet beating of your heart when you still choose to believe, even without seeing the way. That is when He is touching you, not with hands, but with silent presence. Many chosen souls pass through this stage. They are stripped of what once felt safe to realize that true safety is never external. What you are losing is not punishment, it is cleansing. God is removing what no longer serves you, making room for grace. At times, You will feel utterly alone. No one understands you. No one comes to rescue you. But within that solitude, you are invited to rediscover the divine strength that has always been within. Loneliness is the mountain every soul must climb to meet the Creator at the summit of stillness. The voice lowers, speaking softly to the trembling soul in the night. It's okay. Cry if you must, because tears are also the language of the soul. And God understands every tear, even when you cannot put it into words. You may feel lost. Every plan, every belief, every comfort you once knew may be crumbling. But let it fall, because only when the old walls collapse can light come through. Imagine yourself walking through the dark. You cannot see the path, only a small flame in your hand, your faith. And with each step you take, that light shines just far enough for the next step. Not farther, just enough. That is how God leads one step at a time, never without light. A soft whisper passes through the wind. Psalm 119 to 105. Your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path. You don't need to see the whole road. You only need to walk. Every step taken in faith reveals the next, but the night will test you. It will make you doubt. It will whisper that you are lost. It will remind you of old wounds, old judgments, and fears that once made you hide. And each time it does, you will face two choices: turn back or move forward. The chosen always move forward, even trembling, even crying, even uncertain, because their souls know that light waits beyond the trial. If you are in this stage now, do not run from it. Feel it completely. Allow yourself to be weak, because only when you face darkness can you learn to no longer fear it. Remember this: there is no sunrise without the night. There is no warrior of light who has not wept in solitude. Sometimes, God does not take the storm away from your path. He teaches you how to walk in the rain, and in that moment, He makes your steps stronger, so you can stand in the wind and still keep the flame in your heart alive. Look back at every time you thought you could not make it, yet you did. You are still here, still breathing, still listening, still believing. That means you are stronger than you ever imagined. And that strength does not come from your human self, but from the light within you, the place where God dwells. The voice turns warm, like invisible arms holding the trembling soul. The night will not last forever. Morning always comes. And when it does, the light will no longer be outside. It will be within you. When you walk through the dark night of the soul, you will not be the same. You will rise like gold, refined by fire. The things that once scared you will become sacred memories. You will realize that God never left. He was silent, so you could learn to hear Him within. A soft light begins to spread in your mind, not from outside, but from deep peace. As if someone is whispering, "I am still here, my child." Let that truth sink in. Let it become the breath you carry every day. For this is the deepest truth of every spiritual journey. You have never been alone, and you have never been abandoned. The voice ends in a quiet blessing, soft as a prayer in the dark. Rest for a while. Sleep in faith. Because even in darkness, the light is still at work. And then, in silence, a final verse rises like a promise. Psalm 91 to 11. For He will command His angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways. Believe that even when you cannot see, invisible wings are still protecting you. Tonight, you are not alone. Tonight, you are simply being prepared so that when the dawn arrives, it will find you shining brighter than ever before. When light begins to return after a long night, the world feels slightly different. Not louder, but quieter. Not brighter, but deeper. Everything familiar comes alive again, as if the universe itself is breathing with you. The smallest sounds, the wind through the leaves, a distant bird, even the rhythm of your heartbeat, all become a sacred melody. You begin to feel everything more clearly than before. The light brings tears to your eyes. The words of others move your heart. You may cry from a simple act of kindness, or feel a sharp ache for the sorrow of a stranger. Sometimes you feel exhausted because the world holds too many emotions for a tender heart like yours to carry. And you ask yourself, why do I feel so much? Why does everything touch me so deeply? The answer is simple: because you were created to feel. It is your gift, a gift many people do not understand, but heaven does. The voice slows, soft and tender, as if afraid to break something fragile. Do not fear your heart. Do not fear when it trembles. That is how the soul tells you it is still alive. You see, this world teaches people to be tough, to be strong, to hide their emotions in order to survive. But a chosen soul cannot do that. Your true strength does not lie in armor, but in the gentleness that knows how to love. Sensitivity is not weakness. It is the language through which God speaks to you. When tears fall at a simple moment, it is your soul recognizing something sacred that the mind of others has forgotten. When your heart aches for someone's pain, it is the light in you reflecting theirs. You feel deeply because you are deeply connected, and through that connection, you have the power to heal. A verse flows like a clear stream through the still forest. Psalm 51:10. Create in me a pure heart, O God, and renew a steadfast spirit within me. Your heart is the sacred instrument that God placed in your hands, but the world has taught you to doubt it. They said you are too sensitive, too fragile, too unrealistic, and you began to believe them. You started to build walls, close doors, keep distance, afraid of being hurt. But when the heart closes, you do not just block pain, you block light, too. The voice whispers, light as the wind. Do not silence the gift God has woven into you, because that gift is what allows you to hear His whispers. Think back, how many times was your intuition right? How many times did you know something before it happened, without reason? How many times did you feel someone's energy before they said a word? That was not coincidence. That was intuition, the divine antenna you carry. Some call it intuition, others call it a holy whisper. But truly, it is how God speaks through your heart. And because you are sensitive, you are easily hurt. But because you are sensitive, you can also feel the presence of the sacred when others cannot. Emotion is the doorway of the soul. If you close it, you lose the bridge to the divine. Perhaps you have asked, why did God make me feel so much that it hurts? Because He knew you could bear it. And He needed someone in this world who could feel pain deeply enough to turn it into light. You were chosen not to avoid pain, but to transform it. Every time you love, even after being betrayed, every time you forgive, even when misunderstood, every time you choose kindness instead of anger, in those moments, your energy softens the wounds of the world. The voice grows deeper, filled with quiet power. You are not just a sensitive person. You are an instrument, a channel, a bridge between humanity and divinity. Imagine your heart as a mirror. When covered in fear, it is cloudy. But when you embrace your sensitivity, wipe away the tears, and let love flow through, it reflects the light of God more clearly than ever before. And one day, you will realize that everything that made you different was a doorway back to the light. If you ever feel tired from feeling too much, stop and breathe. Do not fight the emotion. Let it flow through you like water over stone. Water does not destroy stone. It shapes it smooth and gentle over time. That is the true power of sensitivity. It does not destroy. It transforms. A voice echoes within your heart, like a memory from another life. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall receive mercy. Matthew 5-7. When you accept this gift, life begins to change. You will no longer fear your tears, no longer feel ashamed of love, no longer hide your emotions to appear strong. Instead, you will understand that true strength is the courage to remain gentle in a hardened world. The strong are not those who never fall, but those who keep loving after they fall. And you, the one hearing these words, you are that person. Do not reject this gift any longer. Hold it close, nurture it, and use it to reach the hearts of others. Because only a true heart can awaken another. The voice softens again, like the last breeze of evening. Every time you feel, heaven opens its eyes through you. Every time you love, the universe exhales in relief. That is your mission, to let God be seen through your heart. Guard this gift. Do not let anyone convince you it is weakness, because in the divine plan, it is always the softest souls who are the strongest warriors. You were not born to hide your emotions. You were born to inspire, to illuminate, to love, and to heal. And if anyone has ever made you believe your heart is too weak, smile gently and tell them, I am not weak. I am simply the one chosen to feel more. Because in every heartbeat, God is speaking in your language. There are moments in life when the soul feels as if it is standing before an invisible door. No one else can see it, yet you know it is there. You can feel it. A strange current of energy flows around you, as if the air itself is pausing. waiting for you to reach out and touch something sacred. Everything you have ever been through, the lonely nights, the losses, the silent tears, has led you here. Not by accident, but by divine design. Because when the soul has been refined through pain, the gate of light opens. And this is the 111 gateway, the prophetic mark of a new beginning. If you pay attention, you may have already begun to see these numbers everywhere: 111 on a clock, 111 on a receipt, a license plate, or even the view count on a random video you stop to watch. Each time you see it, you feel a subtle shiver, as if someone is winking at you from the other side of reality. It is not coincidence. It is a greeting from the universe. 111 is the sacred sign of rebirth, the confirmation that you are ready to step into a new chapter of your soul's evolution. A verse rises like a seal of truth. Psalm 40:2. He lifted me out of the pit of despair, out of the mud and mire. He set my feet on solid ground and steadied me as I walked along. Yes, in this very moment, your feet have been placed upon the rock. Not because the world outside has suddenly become easier, but because something inside you has changed. You are no longer driven by fear. You are becoming a creator through faith. 111 is confirmation that your frequency is rising. It is a reminder that your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs now carry creative power. When you think of light, you attract light. When you speak of hope, you invite miracles. When you believe you are chosen, the universe begins to align itself to prove you right. Imagine this. Before, you were like someone asleep in a dark room, believing the world ended at its four walls. But when the 111 gate opens, light pours in, and you realize the walls were never real. You only have to rise, take one step, and the horizon unfolds before you. That is the truth. One step in faith can open miles of miracles. The voice grows deep and warm, like the heartbeat of the universe itself speaking to you. Do not be afraid. From this moment on, I will walk with you. These words are not heard by your ears, but by your heart. Every time you choose faith over fear, love over anger, movement over hesitation, you are knocking on that gate, and it opens a little more. You may not yet see the full path, but you can feel something shifting, a quiet peace, a trust that needs no proof, a knowing beyond reason. That is the first sign of your soul, aligning with divine intention. A verse hums gently within. Psalm 119:105. Your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path. You do not need to see the whole road. The light only needs to reach the next step. And as you take that step, the next one appears. 111 is also a reminder that every ending you have experienced was only a beginning in disguise. The people who left, the doors that closed, were not taking from you, they were clearing space for what is meant to arrive. The universe does not follow human logic. It moves to the rhythm of the soul. Every loss carries a seed of rebirth. The voice softens, intimate and close, as if speaking directly to your heart. If you keep seeing the number 111, know that the angels are sending confirmation. You are being called. You are not alone. As you begin to understand this language, the language of synchronicity, of signs, of intuition, you are learning to listen with your heart instead of your ears. And that is when true communication with the divine begins. If 111 keeps appearing around you, whisper quietly within, I understand. I am ready for the new chapter. Then take a deep breath. You may feel a gentle warmth move through your chest, familiar and calm. That is your soul syncing with the universe. Another verse rises, like thunder softened by rain. Isaiah 43:19. See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? I am making a way in the wilderness and streams in the wasteland. When God says, I am doing a new thing, it means not only the world around you is changing, the world within you is being renewed moment by moment. If you are hearing these words and your soul is trembling, that is a sign beyond mistake. The gate is open. You do not have to rush through. Simply believe it is real and it is waiting for you. All you need is the courage to take one more step. And with each step you take, the old energies fade, making room for light. The voice lowers, steady and sure. 111 is not just a number. It is a promise that you are being reborn this time, not in fear, but in light. If this number resonates with you, Leave the sign 111 as a way of sending your signal to the universe, a confirmation that you have heard the call. Because in the language of energy, every act of affirmation opens another door. And when thousands of souls affirm together, the gates of light expand wider than ever before. 111 is the first step of co-creation. It is the moment when you and God begin to walk side by side, not as distant creator and creation, but as two lights weaving reality together. Believe that from this day on, even your smallest thoughts can shape miracles. And within every breath, God is still whispering, I am doing something new within you. And you, the chosen one, only need to smile and answer, I am ready. The dawn is rising. The light is returning. And the 111 gateway, the gate of beginning, of grace, of divine promise, stands open, waiting for you to step through with a heart full of faith. After stepping through the 111 gateway, you begin to sense that something extraordinary is happening around you. No longer the lonely silence of long nights, but the gentle movement of a new flow of energy. Everything seems to align more perfectly. Encounters, dreams, conversations you overhear, all carrying the same message, as if the universe is speaking to you in its own language. You start noticing synchronicities, a song playing just as you think of someone, a repeating number on a receipt, or a stranger saying exactly what you needed to hear. And then, the number appears again and again. 333. On clocks, in messages, on signs, everywhere you go. At first, it feels like coincidence, but your soul knows better. This is guidance. 333 is the number of angels, a sign that higher energies are surrounding you. It carries the message that you are not alone, that the support from the realms of light is active in your life. Every time you see 333, it is a reminder that you are being guided, protected, and are walking in the right direction. Even when your mind still doubts, a soft, heavenly whisper echoes, Psalm 91:11. For he will command his angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways. Each time you see 333, remember that the angels walk beside you. They clear your path, block what is not meant for you, and bring what you truly need, even if it does not appear in the form you expect. 333 is the frequency of harmony between body, mind, and spirit. It marks the moment when all three begin working together under divine guidance. When your soul encounters 333, it is a sign that your faith is being strengthened, that you are being protected from old energies trying to hold you back. Challenges now are no longer signs of failure, but tests of your renewed trust. You may begin to feel deeper spiritual movement. Your intuition grows sharper. Dreams become vivid, sometimes prophetic. You sense that something or someone is whispering to you not through words, but through feelings, through a chain of perfect coincidences. Each time it happens, you may smile softly and say, I hear you. 333 is also a message of divine partnership. The universe does not want you to struggle alone. Every prayer you've spoken, every dream you've carried, has a team of light working with you, but they need your permission, your openness, and your faith. The angels can only act when you allow them. The voice deepens, warm and sincere. Do not think you must do everything yourself. Do not try to control it all. Let God do his part. Yours is simply to trust and to act when called. If you are in a season of great change in work, relationships, or beliefs, 333 is the sign that everything is being rearranged into divine order. You may not understand it yet, but be patient. Sometimes God must unravel old threads before he can weave something new. Look around. You will begin to see messengers appear, people, books, music, even a video like this. Everything you encounter during this time is a piece of your spiritual map. If you keep seeing 333, pause and take a deep breath. Feel the unseen hands around you. They do not speak in human language, yet your soul understands. You may not see them, but you can feel peace when you think of them. That peace is the proof. You are protected. Another verse rises gently, like a promise. Psalm 37:4. Delight yourself in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart. Let joy and gratitude be your frequency, because when your heart vibrates with thankfulness, 333 becomes the universe's reply, we hear you. 333 is also an invitation to share your light. When you are guided, you too become a guide. Speak kindness, help someone, spread hope. For every soul you help awaken, you fulfill another piece of your purpose. The voice softens like wind through an open field. Remember, the universe never sends a signal without reason. If you see 333, it is not random. It is a reminder that you have been given a task to carry light into the places still dark. And as you begin to live with this awareness, everything within you shifts. You no longer need signs because you become the sign. Your presence, your words, your eyes, they all carry the frequency of love and guidance. If your heart feels full right now, maybe with tears or warmth, know that this is 333 working within you. It is how the realm of light touches the soul through emotion. The voice pauses, then lingers softly in faith. When you see 333, smile and say, I know God is here, because He always is in every number, every breath, every moment you choose to believe. 333 is not just a number. It is proof that you are seen, heard, loved, and guided. From now on, you do not have to chase the signs, for the signs will find you. If the number 333 resonates deeply in your heart, share it. Comment 333 as a way of sending your signal to the universe, to tell the angels you are ready to collaborate, ready to be led. And when thousands of souls vibrate together in this frequency, the world becomes brighter. That is the true purpose of 333. Not only to remind you that you are protected, but to awaken the truth that we are all rising together in light. One morning, you wake up and sense that something feels different in the air. There is no angelic music, no strange sign, yet deep inside, you know something has shifted. You feel peace, not because everything has become perfect, but because you no longer need it to be. You realize that peace does not come from controlling the world, but from resting in the hands of the one who created it. And in that stillness, you begin to see numbers again. This time, it is 777. It appears softly yet persistently on receipts, on signs, in dreams. Each time you see it, you feel a quiet pulse in your heart, an echo of something both distant and deeply familiar. Your soul knows this is not coincidence. It is the signal of completion, of awakening, of the soul entering its union with light. 777 is the number of full awakening, where body, mind, and spirit merge as one with divine intention. This is no longer the phase of learning, but of becoming. Everything you have read, heard, and believed now, you begin to live it. It is no longer borrowed faith, but embodied truth. A verse whispers, like the breath of dawn, Romans 8:28. And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him, who are called according to His purpose. You begin to see that everything that once caused you pain carried purpose. Every loss, every goodbye, every fall, all of it was part of God's perfect plan to refine your soul into a diamond through fire. The voice deepens, warm and timeless. This is the stage of inner light. You no longer search for signs, because you have become one. When you smile at someone who has lost hope, when you choose forgiveness over resentment, when you still choose love after being hurt, you are living in the frequency of 777. 777 is not only the number of miracles, it is the sacred seal of an awakened soul. It marks the moment you stop fighting darkness and begin to see the light within it. You understand that darkness was never the enemy. It was a mirror reflecting the parts of you still waiting to be loved. And when you embrace it, light blooms. This is the reconciliation between you and the world, between you and yourself, between your soul and its source. You no longer search for God outside, because you finally understand He never left. He has always been within you. A soft breeze passes, carrying a whisper. Psalm 23:1. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. You smile, because now you no longer fear losing, for you know that everything necessary for your journey will arrive at the perfect time, in the perfect way. You begin to live more slowly, seeing everything with new eyes. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? You ask, what is this trying to teach me? Instead of praying for an easy path, you pray for a bright heart to walk the path before you. And in every small moment, you see God smiling through what once seemed random, a message, a meeting, a rain that falls just when you need cleansing. The voice lowers, tender, and full of grace. You see, 777 is not a reward. It is a reminder that you have passed the greatest test, the tests of faith, of patience, of unconditional love. Once, you needed signs to believe. Now you believe, and signs come to you. Once, you feared change. Now you welcome it as the waves that carry you home. Once, you doubted your worth. Now you see you are someone's answered prayer. 777 also marks the completion of one cycle, preparing you for a higher one. When you see this number, know that you are standing at the threshold not to learn more, but to live deeper. This is the time to become light for those walking through the darkness you once knew. A gentle blessing rises like morning light. Psalm 16:11. You make known to me the path of life. In your presence, there is fullness of joy. That joy you feel now is real quiet, humble, yet profoundly alive. If 111 opened the gateway of your journey, and 333 carried the guidance of angels, then 777 is the moment the soul returns home. It is the stage of union, where you and the divine are no longer two, but one stream of light flowing together. The voice softens to a near whisper. You have come so far, and I am proud of you. You may not hear those words with your ears, but you feel them in the vibration of your heart. That is when you know you no longer need to try to be loved, because love has never left you. If you are seeing 777 appear often, smile gently and say, I recognize it. That is your soul's reply to the universe, a sacred nod that says, I am awake. Comment 777 if this number speaks to you not as a trend, but as a ritual of alignment, a confirmation that you have reached a higher level of awareness. And when thousands of souls send out the frequency of 777 together, the sky brightens a little more, for that is the vibration of collective awakening. You are no longer searching for miracles. You are the miracle. You no longer seek the light. You are the light. You no longer wait for God to appear. You have become His reflection in human form. 777 is the seal upon the souls who dared to believe, to love, and to live as light in the midst of darkness. And you, the one hearing these words, are one of them. The dawn within you has truly begun. When the soul has passed through the prophetic numbers, through the dark night and the dawn, through the tears and the rising again, there comes a moment when you stop searching, because what you were seeking has always been within you. All the numbers, the signs, the dreams, they were only doors. And now that you have walked through them, what remains is the pure light of presence. You begin to live differently. You no longer try to be spiritual. You no longer need to meditate for hours or read endlessly, because you now understand that every moment can be a prayer, a deep breath, a loving gaze, a quiet thank you. That is the simplest and truest form of spirituality. The voice speaks softly, like a breath wrapped in silence. This is the stage of radiant light, not the dazzling light that seeks to be seen, but the gentle warmth that slowly seeps into every soul you touch. You no longer try to teach anyone. You simply live, and through the way you live, you inspire. Through the calm in your eyes, others feel safe. Through your forgiveness, they remember that love still exists. A verse from Scripture rises gently. Matthew 5:16. Let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven. Now you understand its true meaning. You don't need to speak loudly about God. You only need to be a living proof of His love. The love you carry is no longer limited to personal emotion. It has become an energy that surrounds everything. You start to see the world through new eyes' beauty, even in the smallest things. Raindrops falling, a child laughing, an elder walking slowly under the sunday. You realize that God is not only in churches or prayers, but in every breath, every motion of life around you. Gratitude becomes your natural language. You no longer thank only when things go well. You thank even in loss, because you know that every moment carries a lesson of light. The voice deepens, calm and grounded. Remember, true light is never loud. It does not need to prove itself. It only needs to be present. And when you are fully present, the world is illuminated. Perhaps you have not noticed, but since the moment you began to believe, the universe has changed the way it reflects you. Kindred souls begin to appear. Opportunities arrive in divine timing. Doors open effortlessly. Everything begins to arrange itself, as if an unseen hand is writing the perfect script, and all you need to do is live each scene fully. This is when your message begins to reveal itself. Every chosen soul carries its own song, a tone that belongs only to them. Some share it through art, some through healing, some simply through the quiet presence of kindness. You do not need to do something grand. Just being true to your essence is already serving the divine plan. Another verse rises, like a seal of grace. Psalm 100:2. Serve the Lord with gladness. Come before his presence with singing. Each heartbeat, each smile is that song. Your existence, aligned with light, is a hymn of praise. You now understand that being chosen has never meant being higher than others. It simply means you remembered sooner. And your task is to help others remember the light within themselves. If someone is trapped in the same fear you once knew, do not preach. Sit beside them. Listen. Let your light embrace them. Be proof that peace can exist even in the middle of the storm. That is how you continue the current of light that the universe has entrusted to you. The voice softens, like a tender breeze through the heart. And when you share your light, do not fear running out. Light never lessens when given. It grows. It brightens. It spreads. Now, you no longer need to hold yourself in a high vibration. You are the vibration. Everything you touch transforms not because of magic, but because you have become the miracle. When you speak kindness, when you listen with your heart, when you forgive with understanding, the world around you rises with you into a new layer of light. A final verse echoes, like a blessing carried by dawn. Psalm 118:24. This is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. You smile because now you know that every day is sacred. There are no ordinary moments in the life of an awakened soul. If you are hearing these words now, know that you are part of the light being shared. You are not just the listener. You are the continuation. You are the one the universe trusts to bring light where it has not yet reached. Share this message if you feel a flame rising within. Not for more views or numbers, but to give the light another path to travel. Because somewhere, someone may be praying for a sign, and you might be the answer to that prayer. The voice fades gently, like a whisper in the soul. The light you carry is not yours alone. It is the light of the one who chose you, shining through you to reach others. Hold it, share it, and never forget that you were found for a reason. And in the final silence, as the music fades into the distance, only the heartbeat remains one with the rhythm of the universe, and a final message from the realm of light speaks softly. You are the light of the world. Shine not for yourself, but for me. The dawn has risen. Not the dawn outside, but the one within you. The gentle light spreading through every cell, every heartbeat, every breath. Everything is silent, but no longer the silence of loneliness. It is the stillness of a soul that has come home. One long journey has closed. Yet at this very moment, another begins. The journey of living in the light. You sit quietly, feeling warmth wrap around you. No longer searching, no longer craving to know more, because you have touched what every soul ultimately seeks: unity. You and the universe are no longer two. You and the Creator are no longer apart. You understand now that He is not far away. He is within your heartbeat, in every glance filled with love, in every word spoken with kindness. A sacred whisper rises like divine breath. Psalm 27:1. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? These words are no longer text. They are the rhythm of your being. You no longer fear the future, or tremble at change, or grieve the unknown, because you know that every path, no matter how far it leads, will always guide you back to the light. You realize that the journey of the chosen one was never about being special. It was about remembering that every soul is sacred. When you awaken, you don't become someone new. You return to who you truly are, whole and complete, where your soul and God breathe as one. From this moment, you live differently. You no longer fear the dark because you have seen the light within it. You no longer hold anger because you understand that every soul is simply learning how to love. You no longer feel alone because you can sense thousands of souls walking beside you, each carrying a small flame, together lighting the sky of humankind. The voice turns warm, like sunlight touching the surface of water. If you are hearing these words, know that you have completed a sacred circle of the soul. Not everyone reaches this point. Many stop halfway, afraid, weary, or forgetting they were ever called. But you did not. You have walked through darkness, through doubt, through moments when you almost gave up, and yet you are here, listening in the light. This is the blessing for you, the one who has been found. May you always remember that the light within you is not a candle, but the sun of your soul. May you walk in faith, even when the world trembles, for within you lies the foundation of eternity. May your heart stay soft, even after knowing the weight of sorrow. May you see miracles in ordinary moments, for that is how God smiles at you each day. Another verse flows like a timeless stream. Psalm 37-23:4. The Lord makes firm the steps of the one who delights in him. Though they stumble, they will not fall, for the Lord upholds them with his hand. You smile, because now you are no longer afraid of falling. Falling is no longer failure. It is the soul's dance in the rhythm of the universe. You know there is still more to learn, more to feel, more to change. And that is all right. You no longer need to know what comes next. You only need to keep this light in your heart, your words, your smallest acts. When you live through the light, you are always guided. And if you ever feel lost, the universe will send you a sign, perhaps a song, a dream, or a message to remind you that you have never truly gone astray. The voice softens like the wind at day's end. Now close your eyes, take a deep breath. Feel this breath of light moving through you. Every cell in you remembers. You don't have to learn how to connect with God. You only need to remember that you and He were never apart. If you feel warmth spreading through your chest, that is the blessing arriving. If you feel tears falling, that is your soul kneeling in grace. And if you feel peace, know that God is smiling within you. From today forward, walk with that light, speak with that light, love with that light. Let your life become the message. You don't need to be perfect, you only need to be real. Because light does not seek perfection, it seeks truth. If you feel a flame in your heart, longing to reach others, share it. Not for me, but for the souls still waiting to be found, as you once were. Let your words, your actions, become the small lantern that guides someone through their night. Sometimes, your very presence is the answer to a prayer. The voice grows steady, deep, like the closing of an ancient journey. Psalm 121:8. The Lord will watch over your coming and going, both now and forevermore. Carry this with you as a blessing for your soul. For once you have awakened, you cannot return to sleep. From this moment, you will live as a bearer of light, gentle, quiet, radiant. And when your light touches another, another soul will awaken, another flame will rise. That is how light travels from one heart to another, until the whole world becomes an ocean of peace. The voice fades to a final whisper, the last breeze before the music ends. Live, love. Remember that you were chosen, not to stand above anyone, but to bring light into this world. For the light within you is the promise I planted from the beginning. Then, silence. Only the heartbeat remains, pulsing with the rhythm of creation. And in that silence, you hear something, not with your ears, but with your soul. You are the light, and that light will never go out. Grateful that you chose to spend these moments in the light of this story. If it touched your soul, please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the bell so the next whisper of light may find its way back to you.